Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Salesforce real-time scenario. In the previous video, we have discussed about to the how we are going to create an Apex class, how we are going to import the Apex class into our Lightning Web component, and they are entered by the either phone number or email address. So we have the verified to the data into the database. If data is not available, we are going to display the message there is no record found with this phone number or email address. We are displayed by this message, and also we have to the displayed by the information and error message dynamically changing by the color will be the red. How we are going to display, if it is error message we have to display with in red color, if it is the information message we have to display with gray color. So how we are implemented we have seen the in the last video. Now in this video we are going to discussing about if they are going to enter the phone number and email, if you database return to the record. So how we are going to display it by that customer details along with to the view sales order button. View sales order button, how we are going to implement we can see. So I am coming to the Visual Studio. For the displaying purpose, I am taking by the separate Lightning Web Component page. So here, customer sales order details view. So details view, I am taking the another Lightning Web Component page. So here we are taking the one property, that is the customer data. What we are getting from the database, right? That is the customer data. So in this customer data, we have to display by the here. So lightning card title equals to customer information. So here we have to display by the name. So here customer data dot name. So already we have queried right in the last video. We have queried by the name, email, primary phone, and address. These four fields we have to display. So here name, and we have to display it by the email. So customer data dot email underscore underscore. So we have to give it by the API name. Each value separate purpose we can give it by the break. And here we have to display it by the phone. So here customer data dot phone is the, we have the API name is the primary phone. So here we have the primary phone. And finally we have to display by the address. So here customer data dot address underscore underscore c. This is the API names. Okay, so we have to display by the customer information what we have. So actually we have the two different components. When this component we are calling to the newly created component. So how we are going to call it to the one component to the other component. Come to our first component. This is the our first component. Okay. So in this component, if data is found, so here we have to take by the one property, customer data. Here also taking by the same name. So if we are retrieving to the data from the database, we have to in the result, right? It is not going to the catch method. So here this dot customer data equals to result. So if Apex class is written the result, that result we are going to holding into the customer data. For the our first component, this is the our first component. So this is the customer details component we have the retrieving. Now this data we have to pass it to the our second component. How we are going to call it by this component into the parent component. This is the parent component now. So how we are going to, that is, see here I am taking by the template. When data is written only, we have to write. Otherwise, we have to display the message. There is no record found. This is already we have handled. So here template, if is true. What is the is true? If customer data found. So customer data is the found. We need to call it by the another component. In this another component, we have to display the data, right? So here, this is the HTML. Here we have to display the data. So how we are going to call it by the one component, the another component? C. We have to give it by the C, customer. So here we are giving to the sales order. S is the capital, right? So it is the camel case. So when we are using the camel case, we can give it by the hyphen. Sales and customer also, order also I'm giving the capital letter. So order, and D also we are giving to the capital. So details, and view also we are giving the capital. When we are using the capital letters, each capital in front we are giving to the hyphen, and so, and we can give it by the small letter. Okay, we can give it by the here like this. And now here we are using to the one property, right? Customer data. We are passing to the this property. How we are going to pass it to the parent component, child component is the customer data. D is the, I'm taking the capital here. We are taking the capital D, right? Here it is also with the camel case. So that's why here we are given to this. And in this component, we are taking the same name, right? Customer data. So this is the another component. In this another component, we have to display by the our result. So name, email, phone, and address information. So after that, how we are going to call it by the this component into the parent component. So here we are calling the like this. So if you are using the camel case, right, in front of the each capital letter, we can give it by the minus, like this minus. We can give it to the here each capital letter in front. And if you use by the any properties also capital letters, you can give it by the properties like this. This is the, in this method, property name. This is the parent component side property name. So like this. Okay, now we are deploying to the first child component, deploy to this. And now we are going to deploy to the this one, parent component. If you are giving the valid phone number or email, it is returned to the result. So now come to the here, we have the refresh the page. So here we are entered by the, for example, already this phone number, we have the available the data in the database. So here sales customers. So we have the one of the records. So here, so we have the, this phone number is available the data, right? Now it is written by the this data. Okay. So for example, in address also we are giving to something. Hyderabad. Save. Okay. So now we have to display by the name, and here phone number and email. Name also we are going to change it by the Abhigya Technologies. Okay. So we are changing by the naming. Also save this. Now it is saved. Now come to here. This is the valid email address. This valid email address is the entered by the user. So now here we are going to give it by the either valid email address or phone number. So here 888 Now once we click on to this submit, we have the retrieving the data. So here we have to throwing an error. Name is the undefined. Okay, so why it is defining the undefined naming? So customer data here we have to display by the naming already. So, okay, why we are getting this error means this property we are calling the in the parent component, right? If you're not giving the anything, it is the private property. Now, how we are going to access the child properties into the parent of parent component? We can must and should give to the at the rate API. When we are giving the at the rate API, it goes to the public. So now here we are giving to the API. Now I am deploying to this. When we are giving to this is the at the rate API. It just like act as a public. Now we can able to access into the parent. So that's why here we are throwing an error. So here we can refresh the page. So again, I'm going to give it by the valid phone number 888 Submit. So now we are not getting the any error, and now here it is displayed by the what is the name, customer name, what is the email, phone number and address. We are displayed the right. When we click on this button only, it is the displayed. If you, for example, if you given by something phone number, see here there is no records found. So we can empty to this also. How we are going to empty this? It might be after the enter by the another phone number. Here we are retrieving right data. So this dot customer. So here we can make it as the null equals to null. Save and deploy. Okay, so if it is null means we have to display the message. So now here we are enter by the valid phone number. If we are enter by the invalid, see here, this will be the gone and this will be the appear only the message. If you remove by the this one, again enter by this message will gone. This message will be the appear by the customer information. So like this, we have to fetch the data and display by the data into the in the another component. Okay. So how we are going to call the one component with another component? We have seen that this is the child component. This is the parent component. In the parent component, we are calling the child component and how we are pass the data from the parent to child. Okay, when you are using the child component properties, when we are using the child component properties, we can must and should give to the at the rate API decorator. I hope to how in which situation we are using the at the rate API decorator. Like this type of the situations, we are using the at the rate API decorator. It is goes to the public, then we can easy to access the child properties into the parent component. Okay. And now here we have to the aligning something to the data like this is up here now. We have to display by something aligning to the data. So in the child component, we are using the lightning layout. And here we are using to the layout layout item. So here we have to display by in single row two values. So that's why here size equals to 2. We are giving to the here. In first column, we have to display by the name. And similar way, we are going to take it by the customer name. And here we have to take it by the again. Quickly, I'm copy and paste to this. This is for the email. And this is for the email. We have to display by the here email. Okay, so this is the now. Again, we have to the phone and address purpose. Again, we can copy paste to the same code. So here we have to remove. We have to give it by the instead of the name. We can give it by the phone. So this is the primary phone and this is the address. Sorry. And here this is the we have to display with address. I am removing this all. So we are aligning to the two columns wise, just like in page loads we have to display in the two columns. So like this we have to display. So save and deploy. So you have to observe before and after. So before we have to the like this format, right? I'm refreshing the page. I'm copy to this phone number. Enter by the phone number. Click on submit. See here name, phone, email, and address. So like this, we have to the aligning the data, same like into the page layouts with the help of to the lightning layout and layout items. We have to observe right previous and now how it is appear the data in the in format way. Now we have to display the format way. And finally, we have to display by the one button, right? View sales order button. We have to display by the here. So how we are going to display the button? In the lightning card after we have to take it by the one button lightning button. So here label we have to give it by the view sales order button sales order view sales orders. Okay, so now here we have to deploy to this. So it is deployed successfully. Now come to the here we have to the refresh by the page. So here we are enter by the valid phone number 888-604-7776. Click on submit. See here button will be the appear, but this button will be the appear by the right side, right? We have to display it by the left side. How we are going to display by the left side this? So here we have to take by the in the buttons, we have the slot option. Slot equals to we have to take it by the actions. Okay, when we are given to this slot equals to actions, it is automatically appear to the in this place, in this place. Now we have to refresh page. Before refreshing, we have to deploy this. So refresh the page. So here I am enter by the valid phone number. Click on submit. See here. Now in the same line, right? In the customer information same line, it is appear by the view sales order. And now it is the appear by the, in the aligning, right? One our next scenario is the once we click on to the view sales order, we have to display it by the this customer related sales order. So for example, come to the here, this customer have the one of the sales order. This sales order information we need to display. When we click on to this button, we have to display by the sales order information. How we are going to implement that is we have to see in the next video. In this video, we have to learn about to the how we are going to call the child component into the parent component and how we are going to pass the data from the parent component to the child component. How using the properties with at the rate API property, we can able to use it. We can pass the from the parent component to the child component to the data. Okay, and we can align the data as well to the with the lightning layout and layout items. And we have to display by the one button. That button we have to display by the in the proper format. We are using the slot actions. Based on that, we have to display by the in the proper format. So this is we have the implemented by the in this video. And coming to the next video, we have to display the, once we click on to this button, we have to display by the orders information in the data table. Why? Because means each customer have the one or more records, right? So that's why here we have to display by the all the related customer records, all the all the sales order records related to this customer. So how we are going to implement in the next video. Stay tuned. Thank you.